A supplemental needs trust is a trust. Trusts are very much like buckets where you take your assets and you put them into a bucket. So for instance, Denise's house, now I put it in the bucket, now it's Denise's trust house. So it can be transferred into this bucket. But there's different kinds of buckets. Supplemental needs trust is just one kind. So I'm going to kind of compare and contrast those. In going through the stages of planning, you've got your estate planning documents over here. And a lot of times you'll hear revocable living trust. Go get a revocable living trust. That's where you take your stuff, you put it into the bucket. Let's say we put your house in there, and then let's say you want to sell your house, or maybe you put some money in and you want to take some money out. You can jump in the bucket and take it out, put some more in, take out some cash, put another house in, back and forth, back and forth. Because you're in the bucket, it's really your stuff still. And because you're going back and forth, that wall doesn't really exist. So it's a very leaky bucket that creditors can also get into, just because you can too. If we kind of move on to step 2 in terms of asset preservation planning, whether it's for you or for the benefit of somebody else, that's when we start talking about an irrevocable trust, or more like a steel bucket kind of trust. If you're out here and let's say you put some money in here for the benefit of your kids or something like this, you can create what they call a supplemental needs trust. So if you take your assets, you put it in here and you shut the lid, it's not yours anymore. And it's meant to benefit the beneficiary that you've determined or named in the document. Now, let's say this beneficiary is on means-tested benefits of some sort, maybe Medicaid, or maybe some sort of housing or food stamps or something like this. Or maybe they just don't have a spouse that we like and we want to make sure we keep stuff in place for them until they get older and they might need long-term care. They'll always have this nest egg built up for them. But basically, if we take the assets and we do it for somebody other than yourself or somebody in the marriage, this is where we can create that supplemental needs. It can supplement the needs of what they can already pay for. So if the creditors or the state comes in and says, hand us all your stuff, this is really all they can get to. They can't get in that bucket. But that bucket could go ahead and pay for things that still benefit this person as well. The other way to do it is, let's say if we're moving past long-term care into the after-death transfers. If we've done a revocable living trust over here, or maybe a will over here or something, we can also create a steel bucket that kind of pops up after you die. So if this is you, and then you die, here's your stuff, right? And then you pass away, it can go into the steel bucket. And it can still benefit the person that you'd like to have inherit from your estate or something like this. The other really great thing about this too is a lot of times we'll have IRAs or we'll have life insurance policies, and we know if we give it to this person, it's gone. The state's going to take it, or they're going to get kicked off their benefits and have to reapply or something like this. We can name this trust instead. If we name that trust instead, we can still defer taxes and we can still benefit this person. But when the state comes and says, hand us all your stuff, basically they can't get into the bucket, but the bucket can continue to pay for things that do benefit that beneficiary.